Trudeau provokes India again. Canada's free speech hypocrisy exposed. Trudeau censors Jaishankar's remarks. India hits back at Canada, condemns ban. Trump wins tremors in Canada. Trudeau about to get trumped.
When India had urged Justin Trudeau in Canada to rein in the Khalistani elements, talking about targeting Air India aircraft, threatening Indian diplomats with bodily harm, the Canadian Prime Minister claimed this was freedom of expression and refused to act despite threats to kill Indian diplomats. And in Canada, there were tableaus that were depicting the assassination of former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi being displayed on Khalistan parades. Was that freedom of expression? Well, Justin Trudeau claims so. But whatever happens to the same freedom of expression when India's External Affairs Minister gave an interview to an Australian network exposing Canada? The website of that Australian network was taken down in Canada. Today, Canadian leaders are in panic. Donald Trump, who once described Justin Trudeau as a left liberal lunatic, Justin Trudeau now realizes Donald Trump is back in power in America. He's now president-elect. And the Trudeau administration is virtually groveling on a bent knee. Clearly, no more achhe din for Justin Trudeau. And we get you all details. I'm Gaurav Sawant as always. Let's get started. Canada's told claims on freedom of expression and right to free speech were blown to bits, with the Justin Trudeau government blocking an Australian media's website and social media accounts after the Australian media portal carried an interview of India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, on India's tensions with Canada. Dr. Jaishankar currently is in Australia. He met his Australian counterpart, Penny Wong. He gave an interview to Australia Today, where he categorically mentioned Canada had levelled unsubstantiated charges and gave no evidence to back its allegations in the Nijjar case. He spoke of Canada putting Indian diplomats under surveillance, which he insisted was unacceptable to India, and free space to Khalistani terrorists and separatists given by the Justin Trudeau administration. Milan Sharma with our top story.
India-Canada ties plunge to a new low. The latest flashpoint, a Canadian ban on the coverage of a joint press meet by External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar and Australian Foreign Minister Penny Wong by an Australian media outlet. At the press meet held in Canberra this week, Jaishankar hit out at Ottawa over the attacks on Hindu temples by Khalistan extremists. He also called out Canada for placing Indian diplomats under surveillance.
The incidents which the gentleman there spoke about, and do look at the video. I think they would tell you, in a way, the political space today, which is being given to extremist forces there. So we believe in freedoms. We also believe freedom should not be misused. And have we had a talk about it? Exactly on the lines which I've spoken.
Later, in an interview to Australia Today, the media website blocked by the Canadian government, Jaishankar slammed Canada for the free run given to Khalistan supporters.
I mean, no country has a stronger commitment to freedom than India. But we always tell people, freedoms are meant to be utilized. Freedom should not be misused. Freedom does not mean that you have also the right to misuse the freedom. So freedom comes with responsibility.
The MEA reacted strongly to Canadian blackout of Jaishankar press meet, describing the move as surprising and strange. The MEA said that the action yet again highlights the hypocrisy of Canada towards freedom of speech. The Modi government also revealed that New Delhi had requested security for Indian diplomats for consular camps in Canada, which the Trudeau administration did not provide.
Canada making allegations and a pattern has developed without any specific evidence. Second thing he highlighted was that surveillance of Indian diplomats have been happening in Canada, which he termed as unacceptable. And then third thing which he highlighted was the political space which is being given in Canada to anti-India elements.
Reacting to the Canada ban, Australia today said that it remains steadfast, undeterred and committed to transparency and a free press.
That now we can't watch you on, your content has been banned, restricted or stopped to be watched in Canada. That's what happened, and we couldn't understand the reason. The only reason was two stories which we did that day, and it probably provoked, it probably didn't go well with the Canadian authorities. I don't know what it was.
Relations between India and Canada have been strained since last year, when Prime Minister Trudeau accused India of involvement in the assassination of Khalistan separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar. The Trudeau government is under fire in Canada after Khalistan extremists attacked Hindu temples in the country recently. Bureau Report, India Today.
Canada is repeatedly provoking India, and not one but multiple instances, and it's not just restricted to these baseless allegations about the Nijjar killing. Again, Government of India insists so far no evidence has been shared with India, no details of investigations have been shared with India. But let me take you through some of the details. So while no evidence has been shared with India, Canadian National Security Advisor and other officials, including a deputy minister, were planting stories in the Washington Post. They named India's Home Minister, Amit Shah. Again, no evidence of Amit Shah's involvement, alleged involvement, and how they came to that conclusion has been shared with India. They've refused to take action against Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, who is a declared terrorist, separatist and terror supporter in India, wanted in multiple cases. But that's why not just Canada, but even the Joe Biden administration in the United States are equally guilty. But let me give you more instances. Refusing security to Indian diplomats when Khalistanis threaten them with bodily harm, or in instances have attacked Indian diplomats. Refusing security even for consular camps to be organized in Canada. Arresting Hindus after Khalistanis launched an attack on the Hindus. It's there on, the evidence is there for all to see. But the Peel police, not a single Khalistani has been arrested. No details have been shared with India, but Hindus have been arrested for defending themselves. But that's not all. Refusing to act against a Canadian government employee who's a designated terrorist in India, Sandeep Sidhu, despite India sharing evidence with Canada. Not just that. Removing Goldie Brar from the Royal Canadian Mounted Police wanted list. So here is a man who's wanted in India, in Canada, but suddenly from a federal list. It's not like a Peel police, it's not like a regional police list. It's the federal government police, Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and Goldie Brar's name has been removed from there. Why? Can it be done without Justin Trudeau knowing or clearing it? Blocking foreign media outlets for carrying an interview with Dr. S. Jaishankar. So look at this long list, and there's more. There's breaking news that's coming in. We'll tell you more about the hypocrisy of Justin Trudeau, described by Donald Trump as a liberal left lunatic. In a video of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau addressing the Indian diaspora in Canada during Diwali, Justin Trudeau was heard saying, "There are many supporters of Khalistan in Canada, but they do not represent the Sikh community." Imagine. He knows this, he's saying it, yet refuses to take action against the Khalistani elements in Canada. If this is not vote bank politics, what else is?
There are many supporters of Khalistan in Canada, but they do not represent the Sikh community as a whole. There are many supporters of the Modi government in Canada, but they do not represent all Hindu Canadians as a whole. There are many supporters of Khalistan in Canada, but they do not represent the Sikh community as a whole. There are many supporters of the Modi government in Canada, but they do not represent all Hindu Canadians as a whole.
I want to bring in India Today's Milan Sharma for more on this story. And Milan, this is one more evidence of the hypocrisy of Justin Trudeau. Multiple instances of his hypocrisy. This is just one more. He refuses to take action against the Khalistani elements because of vote bank politics, even though he knows that they don't represent the Sikh community or the Indian diaspora in Canada.
So in this video accessed by India Today, Justin Trudeau is seen saying that not all Khalistanis are Sikhs. We know that already, but he's also saying that not all Hindu Canadians or Hindu diaspora support the Modi government in Canada. Now, these are the kind of statements that have come forward from the Canadian Prime Minister, adding fuel to fire already. And this statement comes after India and Canada relations were downgraded because the Indian diplomats are being surveilled by the Canadian government. In another instance now, the Khalistan elements and groups are spreading this kind of propaganda, which really shows that how a note has been circulated saying that Hindus are being mobilized through embassies and consulates in Canada because they need people to create anti-Khalistan propaganda. Well, this note has categorically been told as a fake note that is circulated by the Ministry of External Affairs, and they clearly discredit this entire top secret memo as it's being told because of the fact that there is a lot of Sikh diaspora that lives in not just Canada but in United Kingdom, United States, as well as France and other countries. Yes. And Indian consulates and embassies in no way, resort to doing this sort of propaganda against Khalistan. But on the other hand, the Canadian police and the Canadian administration has been very soft when it comes to, catching the perpetrators of the Khalistan group supporters, as well as people who perpetrated the violence on the Hindu temple in Brampton.
More than soft, they're complicit. Look at that Peel police sergeant who was a part of the protest and not hiding somewhere in plain sight where he could perhaps be an informer. He's right there participating in the main protest. I mean, how much more complicit can that Peel police be? Milan, for joining me here on India Today, many thanks. I now want to shift focus to that other big story we're tracking here on India Today, and that's the panic in the Justin Trudeau administration with Donald Trump returning to power in the United States of America. Now, Donald Trump is president-elect of the United States. Canada will go to elections next year. Now, Justin Trudeau and his entire administration, they were actually calling Donald Trump names and saying the opposition leader, the conservative leader, Pierre Poilievre, was actually like Donald Trump. And they're trying to say that he's a fascist or words to that effect. Now that Trump is back, now that there are apprehensions of additional tariffs, and there could be trouble for Trudeau, and he knows that. Why? Because the chemistry or the lack of it between Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump are for the world to see. How? Let me give you some instances. Donald Trump once referred to Justin Trudeau as a far-left lunatic and two-faced. Donald Trump could blunt Trudeau's Khalistan leverage because he could well take action, as he said, about this American deep state, the entrenched interests in Washington, D.C. And if he were to do that, then terrorists like Pannu will not be powerful, and those trumped-up charges against India and an Indian official would collapse. And that's where Justin Trudeau could be in deep, deep trouble. Trump may also act against US-Canadian terrorist Gurpatwant Singh Pannu. Trump may tighten tariff screws against Canada, not just on timber, but on several other issues, and that is where Canada is in panic. Trump may blunt Trudeau's Indo-Pacific ambitions. That's not all. You must know this, and this is very interesting. Trump's tech wingman, Elon Musk, he said Trudeau will lose the next elections, and that's very clear. The writing's virtually on the wall, and we'll be tracking that story very, very closely. I now want to shift focus to the big political story in India, and I want to take you to the state of Maharashtra. After a high of Haryana victory, the BJP has gone out all guns blazing in Maharashtra. Prime Minister Narendra Modi leading the charge. He said, "Ek rahenge to safe rahenge." That's the war cry given by Prime Minister Narendra Modi in poll-bound Maharashtra. Speaking in the tribal stronghold of Dhule, the Prime Minister hit out at the Congress party and the Maha Vikas Aghadi in general. Prime Minister Narendra Modi accused the Congress party of dividing the society on caste lines and warned voters not to fall for the sinister Congress party plot to divide and rule.
आजादी के बाद महात्मा गांधी कांग्रेस को खत्म करना चाहते थे। उन्होंने कहा था अब आजादी मिल गई, कांग्रेस को बिखेर दो। उन्हें कांग्रेस को लगने वाली बीमारी का अंदाजा था।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi enters state of war Maharashtra, launching stinging attack on the Gandhis. Modi hit the battleground running and slammed the Congress for orchestrating divide between caste.
हमारे बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर ने बहुत कोशिश की थी कि शोषितों वंचितों को आरक्षण मिले, लेकिन नेहरू जी अड़े हुए थे कि किसी भी कीमत पर दलितों, पिछड़ों, आदिवासियों को आरक्षण नहीं दिया जाएगा।
Modi also accused the Grand Old Party of playing a dangerous game of pitting one caste against another for political gains.
एक जाति को दूसरी जाति से लड़ाने का खतरनाक खेल खेला जा रहा है, और ये खेल इसलिए खेला जा रहा है क्योंकि कांग्रेस कभी दलितों, पिछड़ों, आदिवासियों को आगे बढ़ते नहीं देख सकती।
Modi accused the Gandhi family of blocking OBC reservation during Rajiv Gandhi's rule. Rahul Gandhi hit back at the BJP, claiming it was the BJP that divides people on caste lines.
अपोलो अस्पताल ये सब जो है खुल रहे हैं, मुझे बता दो इसको इनमें से कौन सा है जिसका मालिक आदिवासी है, जिसका मालिक पिछड़े वर्ग का है, जिसका मालिक दलित है। आपको एक नहीं मिलेगा, पूरे देश में ढूंढ लो, एक नहीं मिलेगा। ये बात मैंने उठाई पार्लियामेंट में और कहते हैं राहुल गांधी देश को बांट रहा है।
Prime Minister Modi also tore into the Congress for distributing blank constitution copies to its leaders at an event in Maharashtra, calling it a disrespect to the constitution.
यही कांग्रेस, उनका गठबंधन यहां महाराष्ट्र में आकर संविधान की झूठी किताब लहराता है, कोरे कागज वाली।
The Congress clarified that the blank book was a notepad that looked like a copy of the Constitution.
देखिए, राहुल गांधी ने वही बात कही है जो देश का संविधान कहता है। इक्वलिटी की बात है, सबको मौके बराबर मिलने चाहिए।
The BJP had suffered heavy losses in the Lok Sabha elections after the Congress accused it of planning to scrap reservation. Since then, the party has been trying to recover lost ground among Dalits. Rahul Gandhi's remark in the US that his party will think of ending reservation after inequality ends in society has been used by the BJP to corner the Congress MP in the assembly polls.
We're going to apply a series of policies to correct it, reservation being one of them.
Right.
We've also said that we're going to, somebody misquoted me yesterday saying that I'm against reservations. I've been saying again and again and again, we're going to increase reservations beyond 50%, and I'm not against reservations.
Top leaders campaigning for the BJP in Maharashtra, led by Prime Minister Modi, are making a concerted effort to consolidate Hindu vote in favor of the ruling Mahayuti. Bureau Report, India Today.